students, as you all know that we have completed ether under the chapter called ether, alcohol and phenol. We have completed ether under the chapter called ether, alcohol, phenol. So today we will start alcohol, and it's a very important chapter topic, okay, alcohol. So do remember alcohol symbol is dash OH. This dash satisfies the valency of oxygen. So when you write alcohol, you should write dash OH, and in IUPAC name we write OL. So remember, IUPAC name of alcohol is OL. Now this alcohol is of three types. One is called monohydric alcohol, the other is called dihydric alcohol, the other is called trihydric alcohol, students. Okay, dihydric alcohol are those alcohol which has 2 OH in a compound. Trihydric means having 3 OH in a compound. You can see if there is 3 OH in a compound, trihydric. If there is 2 OH in a compound, that is called dihydric. And if there is only 1 OH, we call monohydric. So let us see the example of trihydric alcohol first, students. So you can see here OH, 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 there are 3 OH, it's a trihydric alcohol, and we are doing organic chemistry, it's dealing with carbon. And carbon has to be linked because of catenation property, which you have learned in organic chemistry in class 10. Now you have to satisfy the valency of carbon here. To satisfy the valency of carbon, which is 4, you can see count the bond, 1, 2. So out of 4 valency, 2 is satisfied, 2 is not, so we'll add 2 hydrogen. To satisfy the valency, we need to add hydrogen. Here also, the valency of carbon has to be 4. 1, 2, 3 has been satisfied out of 4. So to make 4, we add 1 hydrogen. And here, again the valency of this carbon is 4. 1, 2, we have to add 2 hydrogen to make the valency carbon 4. And this compound is known by the name glycerol. So one example of trihydric alcohol is glycerol, which is also known by the name propane 1, 2, 3 triol. If you see, the longest carbon chain here is 3. So 3 carbon means prop. Carbon is linked by single bond, so N, propane, 3 carbon prop, single bond N. In 1, 2 and 3, in 1, 2 and 3, there is a triol, means 3 alcohol. So also you understood the example of trihydric alcohol, glycerol, and its IUPAC name. Now we will go to the dihydric alcohol. Dihydric alcohol example, okay, having 2 OH in a compound which is linked with carbon, because we are doing organic chemistry, and carbon are linked by catenation property. Now make the valency of carbon 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, add 2 hydrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, add 2 hydrogen. So the formula of this compound is CH2OH bond, and this compound is known by the name ethylene glycol. And this compound, which is known as ethylene glycol, is used as anti-freezing agent. We have seen its application in the chapter called solution. Okay. Now its IUPAC name. You can see the longest carbon chain out here is 2. For 2 carbon, we write eth, single bond, so N. 2 carbon eth, single bond N. In 1 and 2, there are 2 ol, so we write diol, the IUPAC name. So do remember example of trihydric alcohol is glycerol or propanol 1, 2, 3 triol, the IUPAC name. Dihydric is your ethylene glycol, IUPAC name ethane 1, 2 diol, which is used as anti-freezing agent. Okay, now we go to the monohydric alcohol. Monohydric alcohol means having 1 OH, dihydric means having 2, and tri means having 3. So you saw the example of di and tri, now we'll see the mono. So before I show you the example of monohydric alcohol containing only 1 OH, first let us understand what is this all. These all are called alkyl group, okay, these all are called alkyl group. This is called methyl. If you add CH2, it becomes ethyl. Again, if you add CH2, becomes propyl. So meth means 1 carbon, eth means 2 carbon, prop means 3 carbon. So if you keep on adding H out here, so methyl will become ethyl. Again, add CH2, it becomes propyl. And this one is called isopropyl. CH3 is referred as isopropyl, remember. And CH3 is called T-butyl. Why butyl? Because of 4 carbon. And why isopropyl? Because of 3. Why propyl? Because of 3 carbon. Now monohydric alcohol contains only 1 OH, as I said earlier. Okay, it contains 1 OH. So put here OH now. OH. So this becomes monohydric alcohol, and the name of this compound is methyl alcohol. In IUPAC name, we call it by the name methanol, because there is 1 carbon, so we write methane, and for alcohol we write ol. So this is one of the example of monohydric alcohol having 1 OH, and it is called methyl alcohol. Common name, IUPAC name, 1 carbon methane, alcohol ol. Now this one, again if I add here OH, this is also because monohydric alcohol, because there is only 1 OH in the compound, and this compound is known by the name ethyl alcohol. whose IUPAC name is ethanol. Ethane means 2 carbon, ethane, and alcohol we write ol. Now this one. So again, if I put here OH, this becomes your propyl alcohol, which is also a monohydric alcohol because alcohol is linked with CH2, CH2. CH2 means propyl alcohol, monohydric alcohol, because there is only one OH. Now, this alcohol is also known by the name 3 carbon prop, single bond N, alcohol ol in 1, propanol 1. You have to count from back. When you count the longest carbon chain, you count like this 1, 2, 3. So 3 carbon, we write prop, single bond. So N, alcohol lies in number 1 place. So we call propanol 1 the IUPAC name of this compound, students. Or you can simply say propanol. If there is one no need to mention, you can simply say propanol. Now we go to the next one, which is also an example of monohydric alcohol. This is called isopropyl. In here, if I add OH, then it becomes isopropyl alcohol. Okay, isopropyl alcohol. Okay, and its IUPAC name. You can see there are 3 carbons, so write prop, single bond, so N. 3 carbons, so prop, single bond, so N. And alcohol lies in number 2, so we say propanol 2. So common name of propanol 1 or propanol is propyl alcohol. Common name of propanol 2 is isopropyl alcohol. Now here this is T-butyl. If I write here OH again, this becomes your T-butyl alcohol, students. Okay, this becomes your T-butyl alcohol. Now the IUPAC name of this, count the longest carbon chain. Whether you count from front or back, both of these two lies in number 2 place. So in this two, do remember this will get preference, so its name should be at the back. This will not get the preference, its name should be in front. So first we write on the name of this. Into what is hanging? Methyl. Into methyl is hanging. I am writing the IUPAC name of T-butyl alcohol. So into methyl is there. Now for 3 carbon, we write propane. And for alcohol, we write ol. Again, alcohol lies in number 2 place. So we call propanol 2. Propanol 2 because alcohol lies in 2. So the IUPAC name of T-butyl alcohol is 2-methyl propanol 2. Do remember. So if you see, all of them contains one OH. So we call them monohydric alcohol. And they contain 2 OH. Dihydric, they contain 3 OH. That is trihydric. And do remember, in the reduced syllabus, you don't have to learn about trihydric alcohol, but just remember one example. You don't have to learn about dihydric alcohol, just remember one example. Whereas for monohydric alcohol, we have to learn under the syllabus, so this is important to us. Monohydric alcohol is important to us as compared to di and tri, but do remember one example of each. And also how I made this, CH3 means methyl, CH2 means ethyl, add CH2 becomes propyl, CH3 is isopropyl, C, CH3 is T-butyl. Then if you put OH in all of them, it becomes alcohol, and I have given you the common name and IUPAC name for both. And now do remember, this monohydric alcohol is of 3 types, which is under our syllabus. So monohydric alcohol is of 3 types, which is in our syllabus, having one OH. Monohydric alcohol is of 3 types, which is in our syllabus. Now see here, if alcohol group is linked with CH2, we call primary alcohol, represented by 1 degree. If alcohol group is linked with CH, we call secondary alcohol, represented by 2 degree. If alcohol group is just linked with C, we call it tertiary alcohol, represented by 3 degree. So primary means 1 degree, secondary means 2 degree, tertiary means 3 degree. This is in our syllabus under monohydric. So if OH is linked with CH2 primary, that is 1 degree. OH linked with CH secondary, that is 2 degree, and OH linked with C is tertiary, that is 3 degree. Now you can see out here. This is the example of monohydric alcohol, T-butyl alcohol, IUPAC name 2-methyl propanol 2. If you see here, OH is linked with C, OH is linked with just C, OH is linked with just C. So it matches with this condition. Therefore, it is tertiary alcohol. So do remember, T-butyl alcohol is an example of tertiary alcohol. T-butyl alcohol is an example of tertiary alcohol because OH is linked with just C. And when you pronounce, when you remember the formula, you remember this way: C in the middle, CH3, OH is the formula of T-butyl alcohol, which is tertiary alcohol because OH is linked with C. And this T stands for tertiary, so we can call it by the name tertiary butyl alcohol, where we represent tertiary by small t, tertiary butyl alcohol. Now if you see here, in the second case, OH is linked with CH, so OH is linked with CH. If OH is linked with CH, it comes under secondary alcohol. So therefore, isopropyl alcohol, also known by the name propanol 2, comes under secondary alcohol. Why? Because OH is linked with C. So therefore, OH linked with C is secondary. So this isopropyl alcohol, propanol 2, is an example of secondary alcohol. And since it is secondary alcohol, therefore isopropyl alcohol is also known by the name sec propyl alcohol. So another name of isopropyl alcohol is your sec-propyl alcohol. Another name of isopropyl alcohol is sec-propyl alcohol, and this sec stands for secondary propyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol propanol 2. So example of tertiary alcohol is this, because OH is linked with C. Example of secondary alcohol is isopropyl alcohol, sec-propyl alcohol, because OH is linked with CH. Okay, and if OH is linked with CH2, we call it primary, which is represented by 1 degree. So you can see out here now, in propyl alcohol, that is propanol 1, OH is linked with CH2, so therefore it is primary alcohol. And if you see here also, again OH is linked with CH2, so it is also primary alcohol. So OH linked with CH2 is primary alcohol, primary alcohol. So the example of primary alcohol is ethyl alcohol and propyl alcohol. Example of your secondary alcohol is sec-propyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, I-picnic propanol 2, and example of tertiary alcohol is T-butyl alcohol, T stands for tertiary. But if you see out here in methyl alcohol, OH is neither linked with C, neither linked with CH, nor linked with CH2, but yet it is linked with CH3, but yet we consider it under primary alcohol, students. So from today, do remember, methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, propyl alcohol are referred as 1 degree alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, sec-propyl alcohol is referred as 2 degree alcohol, and T-butyl alcohol is referred as tertiary butyl alcohol. Example. Now in our syllabus, what we have to learn about the monohydric, because dihydri is not in the syllabus. So for this alcohol, primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, okay, for primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, we need to learn one preparation and test. We have to learn about its preparation and test for these three. One preparation of primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol, and the test we have to learn. Primary alcohol, preparation and test we have to learn. After we complete that preparation and test of primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol, for methyl and ethyl alcohol, we have to learn preparation properties. So for methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, we have to learn preparation properties, and for primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol, we have to learn preparation and test, students. So students, so what we will do now is, in this classification, first we will see the test of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. So once we see the test of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, test is over, its preparation is left. And the preparation of primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol will do along with the preparation of methyl and ethyl alcohol later. So we'll be doing the preparation of these two along with the properties and preparation of this together. Right now we'll see the test of these three alcohol first. So students, if you want, you can take the screenshot of this. So do remember, only monohydric is in our syllabus, which is of three types: primary, secondary and tertiary, in which we'll be learning the test for these three first, then we go with the preparation of these three along with the preparation of these two. Okay, so if you want, you can take the screenshot to make the notes. Now students, we are going to see the test for primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by single chemical. How we can differentiate primary 1 degree, secondary 2 degree, tertiary 3 degree by single chemical test. And we can differentiate them with the help of Lucas test, and it is an important test to remember, Lucas test, and which we use Lucas reagent. And do remember what is the meaning of Lucas reagent. It is a mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and anhydrous zinc chloride. This has been asked in the sample paper. So we can differentiate them by Lucas test, in which we add Lucas reagent, which is a mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and anhydrous zinc chloride. So the mixture of ConHCl and anhydrous zinc chloride is known as Lucas reagent. Do remember this, and this test is carried out at room temperature. So in this test, what we do is we take 3 unknown bottles. You can take the screenshot, okay, to make the notes. So in this test, which is carried out at room temperature, we take 3 unknown bottles. So any one may contain primary alcohol, any one may contain secondary and tertiary alcohol. Now what we are going to put in all of them is Lucas reagent. Here also we add Lucas reagent, here also we add Lucas reagent, here also we are going to add is Lucas reagent. So after the addition of Lucas reagent, suppose in this bottle cloudiness appear immediately. Okay, so here the cloudiness appeared immediately. So if the cloudiness appears immediately, then it is called tertiary alcohol. That means we can identify that this bottle contains tertiary alcohol if the cloudiness appears immediately. But in some book, instead of cloudiness, they may say turbidity. So if the cloudiness can be replaced with the word turbidity, so if cloudiness, turbidity appears immediately, we consider it as tertiary alcohol. But in this bottle, cloudiness appeared or turbidity appeared after few minutes. After few minutes, then we refer it as secondary alcohol. So here also we cloudiness appeared or turbidity appeared after few minutes. After few minutes, then we consider it as secondary alcohol. Okay, so if the cloudiness appears immediately, it's primary, it's tertiary alcohol. If the cloudiness appears after few minutes or turbidity, then that is called secondary, and this is done at room temperature. Now in this bottle, you waited for a long time, but still cloudiness turbidity is not appearing at all. Now what you will do, you bring a burner nearby and you heat. When you heat slowly, out here also cloudiness turbidity appears. That means this bottle will give you cloudiness or turbidity appearance. Cloudiness or turbidity appearance will come on heating. If it is so, then we consider it as primary alcohol. So that is 1 degree. So do remember, the one who gives cloudiness or your turbidity appears immediately is tertiary, in which it appears after a few minutes. Is secondary, in which it does not appear at room temperature, will be 1 degree. But this also gives cloudiness appearance on heating, means by increasing temperature. And this is the sentence form of that. You can see we can identify primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol with the help of Lucas test, which is carried out always at room temperature. By when we add Lucas reagent, that is the mixture of Kong HCl and hydrogen chloride, is added to the 3 unknown bottles, that is primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol at room temperature. The bottle in which cloudiness turbidity appears immediately, like here, will be containing 3 degree alcohol. The bottle in which cloudiness or turbidity appears after a few minutes will contain secondary alcohol, and the bottle in which cloudiness does not appear at all at room temperature especially will be 1 degree alcohol, which also gives cloudiness or turbidity appearance on heating. So from here you have to remember one thing, students. Okay, primary alcohol does not give cloudiness appearance at room temperature, but it gives at a higher temperature on heating. So you can take the screenshot to make the notes. And do remember what is Lucas reagent means out here, mixture of Kong HCl and hydrogen chloride. And the one who gives cloudiness turbidity appearance immediately is tertiary, after a few minutes is secondary, and who does not give at all at room temperature is primary, which also gives on heating. Okay, so we have finished the classification of alcohol in this video along with the test of a primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Now in our next video we will be seeing the preparation of alcohol. So when we see the preparation of alcohol, we will be learning the preparation of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol also, students. Thank you very much.